Okay. Okay, thank you. Um, you know, there's a difference between a revolution and a civil war. Okay. There's a very, very big difference between a revolution and a civil war. Okay. A civil war is what they want. The ANC government and the DA government wants you to act like Operation Dudula. They want you to act like the people in Marikana. They want you to act like these protesters. They want you to act like the EFF. That's what they want. To make a noise so that they can shoot you and call you criminals and people who vandalize things. Like the guys, if you guys remember in 2021 in Durban, back when President Jacob Zuma got arrested, and then the people in Durban did that, right? That's what they actually wanted. The current government, the ANC, President Ramaphosa and the ANC want that. That's what they want. They want some kind of a PG-13 version of a civil war. They want, I'm telling you, they want what Operation Tutula is doing. Okay. What Operation Tutula is doing is something they want so that they can shoot you and call you a problem. This is why now they are busy attacking Operation Tutula. It's the same way they attack every group of people who've had enough. Okay. They are attacking every group of people who've had enough. Now, the whole thing of these groups that have had enough, the problem with these groups is number one, all of them are correct. All of them. They're correct. All of them are right. Our society has crashed a long time ago. This is why I tell you guys all the time. Our organization started in 2017. We started in 2017 by exposing the lotto, that the lotto is rigged. South Africa, you don't have a lotto, it's rigged. They steal that money. The winners are fake. Okay. The winners are fake. Only one winner, maybe per year. They'll give it to one person per year or maybe two people in a year, in an entire year. How many weeks are in a year? Do you guys realize that every week in the national lottery, every week there's a new winner? Do you guys know that every week there's a new winner? From 2014 until today, every week those millions are given to somebody. Okay. So we proved when we went to the SIU in 2014, in 2017, we had a whistleblower who came to us and told us. And then we went to the Hawks, and then the Hawks said we must go to the SIU. This was in 2017 when whistleblowers started to come to us saying, hey guys, please do something. Because I used to be on Facebook complaining. That's how the whole thing started. I used to be on Facebook complaining about our country, the fact that we don't have a country anymore. This was in 2017. This was when unemployment was at almost what? It was at 50% back then. Unemployment was at 50% back then amongst the youth. I think it was 50% or 48%, something like that, some crazy number like that. Okay. Today, everybody's unemployed, right? Today, everyone is unemployed. Everybody that you know is unemployed today. 80% of everyone is unemployed. Colored people, black people, 80% of everyone is unemployed today. Okay. My point is this. We realized back in 2017, when we started our organization, we realized that number one, South Africa's money is being stolen. So South Africa as a country is being defunded. It's like somebody drilling a hole in your bank account. We realized that the ANC is a criminal organization that assassinates people, and the DA. We realized that both of these organizations are the same organization. Okay. Now, a lot of you, the smart ones on the internet, have now figured that out. Now with the GNU. Now with the GNU, the smart ones are now beginning to figure it out. Now with the GNU. And then after that, certain ANC politicians in the Western Cape are now working for the DA. So the Western Cape government is full of DA politicians and ANC politicians. So the smart people have figured out that, oh, so the ANC and the DA, there's no actual difference. They both believe in the same thing. The difference is maybe the DA will come out and say, oh, BEE doesn't work. But the DA has not been fighting the ANC. For instance, in our organization, look at everything that we have done, exposing the lotto, right? We've exposed the lottery. We've exposed the ANC school teachers who are sex trafficking these kids, these teenagers. We've exposed the foreigners who are getting construction tenders in the Eastern Cape. Foreigners are becoming multi-millionaires in the Eastern Cape through construction tenders, okay? Especially Zimbabweans, right? We've exposed the directors of the Department of Health for not being qualified. Okay, the deputy director doesn't even have a matric. That was us. We exposed that through whistleblowers. We expose right now. Currently, we are working on cases where the Zimbabweans who are getting construction tenders are providing cocaine and ecstasy to the people who work at ESCOM, to ESCOM officials for tenders again. So the tender system has been infiltrated by foreigners. Foreigners are becoming multi-billionaires in South Africa. Okay. So we have all these exposés and we have evidence on this. We have all these exposés and we've done so much work exposing the ANC. So much work. Just the national lottery alone was a big one. My point is this. We have been fighting the ANC since 2017. What has the DA done as far as fighting the ANC is concerned? Who has the DA ever exposed? Even now, listen to me, guys, this is very important. Even now, with these commissions, look at how the DA is acting in these commissions. Look at how the DA is acting in these commissions, right? Look at how they're acting in these commissions. The DA is quiet. All these commissions, all this evidence, Nkwazi came out, all this evidence, and the DA is just quiet. You guys need to remember that the Guptas were also working with the DA, and this is documented. This is actually documented. Helen Zille was supposed to go to the state capture. This is documented. Helen Zille received money from the Guptas. This is documented. This is not my opinion, it's documented. So when we say there's no difference between the ANC and the DA, a lot of you, because a lot of you are stupid, right? A lot of you, because you have to be stupid to still not see it. If I'm telling you that we saw this back in 2017 and you guys still don't see it in 2025 or 2024, what year are we in? 2025. It's 2025 and you guys still don't see that the DA and the ANC are the same thing. They work for the same people. They have the same mandate. This is why black people are still poor wherever there's the DA. So the DA and the ANC, if you look at how they treat black people, it's the same. It's like there's no difference. It's like it's the same party. It's just different personalities of the same thing. The end result is the same. Okay. So my point is this: all of you who still think there's a difference between the ANC and the DA, number one, you are stupid. Okay, it's by now you're stupid because you can only be stupid. You can only be stupid to not see what's happening. Okay. Now a lot of you, the smart ones, have figured it out by now with everything that's going on. You guys have figured it out that the ANC and the DA is basically the same thing. They are not opposition. You can tell with the Matlanga Commission and this commission and that commission, and the DA is just quiet throughout all these commissions. The DA is not asking any questions. They're just quiet. Okay. The only people that are really asking questions is the EFF and Action SA. It's them, it's the EFF and Action SA. In these commissions, the only people that are asking actual questions is the EFF and Action SA. Everybody else everyone else is acting as if they don't want to get exposed, so they'll keep quiet. And there's a reason for that. There's an actual reason for that. There's a reason why all of them are hoping that these commissions actually come to an end. All of them, Patriotic Alliance included. Gayton McKenzie has been exposed multiple times throughout these commissions. Multiple times. The Patriotic Alliance is a criminal organization. MK Party has been exposed multiple times. They are funded by criminals. Bekicele said it. So all of these people, all of these politicians that you guys were believing in, everything is now coming out. Now you can see who's working for criminals and who isn't. Now you can actually see who's actually in opposition and who isn't. Okay. And now you are realizing this whole time that these people all of them have been stealing money. All of them are criminals. All of these organizations are criminal organizations. This is something we discovered back then. Okay. Now I'm gonna do a separate video on that. I'm gonna do a part 1 on that, right? On the fact that all these organizations are connected to the crime that's happening in South Africa, even the killings that are happening in the Western Cape, the massacre that's happening in the Western Cape, with people dying in the Western Cape, all our colored people dying in the Western Cape, all of that is connected to the DA, okay, and other Muslim groups from Botswana, okay. But we'll have a separate video on that where we'll talk about it. My point in this video, my point in today's episode is that with everything that's been going on in South Africa, the people of South Africa have had enough. The people of South Africa are protesting against the government. But my point is, that's what they want. They want as I said, a PG-13 version of a civil war. Operation Dudula is a PG-13 version of a civil war. Marikana, what happened in Marikana, and how they responded to what happened in Marikana, that was a PG-13 version of a civil war. It's like a civil war, a miniature, a little civil war. And what happened in KZN in 2029, when those people were doing those things in KZN, when all hell was breaking loose in KZN, that was a PG-13 of a civil war, right? It's political unrest. It's people losing their minds to say, how is this allowed? What's going on in our country? We don't want this, right? So now what's happening with these operations, with Operation Dudula and March and March, and all of these organizations who are protecting their cities, that's what's happening. These organizations are rebelling against foreigners, right? These organizations are rebelling against foreigners who are committing big, 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 big crimes in their cities. So they're rebelling against that. The SAPS is now proving that they've been behind this whole thing. The government has been behind illegal foreigners committing crimes in our country. The government is behind all crimes. Every crime, the government is behind it in South Africa. And I've proven that multiple times. I've proven that. We proved it in 2017, we proved it in 2018, we proved it in 2019, and then the commissions came out, the Zondo Commission came out, which proved the whole thing. Every crime that's committed in South Africa, even if it's a carjacking, it's politically connected, because the police, the people that are robbing your car, are connected to the police. They are friends of the police. Okay, we proved that a long time ago. Look at the lady. Okay, another example. Look at the lady who was sex trafficking, the school teacher, the ANC school teacher who was sex trafficking teenage girls. Look at how the teenage girls went to the police, the families went to the police, and what did the police do? Nothing. And then they spoke about it on Facebook, and then somebody referred them to us. We then took it to the Hawks. Okay. But my point is, it was years and years and years of the community, families going to the police. Years. And then luckily they were able to find us, and then we referred them to the Hawks. Okay. A woman was selling teenage girls to old ANC comrades during these conferences. Whenever they have a conference in the Eastern Cape, a woman was supplying them in these hotel rooms with teenage girls, saying, hey, if you want to make money, come and do this. If you want to make money, come and do this. Telling these teenage girls that, hey, if you're interested in making money, you should come and do this. We have a conference, we have an after party of a conference, come and join us. Okay. She was a school teacher. She was somebody who works at the education system. She was a pimp, a madam. And the SAPS did not do anything about it for years. Years. It was going on for years. Okay. So I'm telling you, all crime is politically connected. All crime. All. When I say all, I mean all. I don't care how small you think it is. It's not small when it's done to 100,000 people. Okay, so if Your sister gets raped and you go and report it to the SAPS. You need to understand that rape case is rape case number 587. The SAPS knows who's raping these kids. Okay. My point is this. Now, South Africans have woken up to that. Organizations like Operation Dudula and March have woken up to realize that, oh, so the government, the ANC government, the SAPS is protecting the foreigners. Because when they go and report a foreigner, the SAPS protects that foreigner. And it's documented. It's documented. The SAPS has been protecting foreigners. It's documented. People who are pimping teenage girls, people who are selling cocaine and all kinds of illegal substances, they are being protected by the local police. Now it's documented. There's videos and videos of it on Facebook. And now it's gotten worse. What's happening in KZN right now? It's gotten worse because more and more people are realizing that this is nonsense. So now a lot of people, there's protests, there's marches, and all of this is happening. All right. All I am saying is the ANC government, Cyril Ramaphosa, and all governments want this. They want these people to protest and they want all of this. They want this to happen. The most important reason why they want it to happen, apart from them calling you a criminal. South Africa, listen to me, this is important. Apart from them calling you a criminal, the most important reason why they want this to happen is two things. Number one, they can use this to change the laws. Okay. They can use this to change social laws, to say officially now it's illegal to gather around in a crowded area in public. They'll say something like that. Now it's illegal to start a church. It's illegal to be a preacher, like they just did with the CRL. Oh, the religious groups, now you have to be compliant. A religious group has to be compliant. These people have put BEE in religion. You have to now comply with them, with with whatever rule the criminal ANC has put. Imagine that. Imagine a criminal saying, well, in order for you to open a church, you have to come to me. And I will tell you if you're allowed or not, if you comply or not. A criminal organization that has ruined everything. They've ruined ESCOM, they've ruined Transnet, SAA, they ruined everything. Those same thugs are now saying, oh, well, you must be compliant in order for you to, to open a church and. So they use these events to change laws. So they need you to rise up. They need you to protest. Okay. There are plenty of communities, listen to me guys, there are plenty of communities who have risen up against the EFF. Plenty. There are plenty of communities who have risen up against the ANC. Plenty of communities who have risen up against the DA. Plenty. There's that DA mayor. They chased away. That young man, that young white man, they chased away in Tshwane. If you guys remember, they chased away that DA mayor in Tshwane. They kicked him out. You guys can Google the DA mayor. Google right now, DA mayor getting kicked out of Tshwane. So my point is, societies have been rejecting these people for a long time. Societies have been saying, we don't want the EFF here. We don't want the DA here. We don't want you people here. You people are ruining Our city. We were better off without you. That's what's happening now in South Africa. South Africans are realizing that, hey, we were better off without you. Okay? We're better off without the DA. We're better off without the ANC and the EFF and all these thugs. We were better off when you people just went away, when we only saw you people on TV. Because you are now coming into our neighborhood, bringing foreigners here. You are introducing foreigners into our neighborhoods. Our children are now going missing. 12-year-old girls are now going missing. These people are selling drugs. They are robbing people. Carjack crime there's no service delivery. The road looks like crap. These people are ruining our cities. It was better off when you were not around, when we didn't see you. Okay? That's what's happening in South Africa. In a nutshell, in every corner of South Africa, people are rising up and they're realizing we were better off without you. We don't need you. Okay? Now, the issue is they want that. They want you to rise up. They want you to burn things. They want you to destroy buildings. They want you to break windows. They want that. That's something they actually want. The second reason why they want it, remember I said there are two reasons. One, the first reason is they can use that to change the law and to do things legally, to punish you legally, okay, and change the law. The second reason is that doesn't change anything. What the EFF is doing doesn't change anything, and it's never changed anything. Julius Malema just makes a noise and his friends. They've never actually changed anything. Okay? They've never changed anything. People go to an EFF rally, they listen to a speech, and then they go home. People go to an MK rally, they listen to a speech, they sing, and then they go home. It's a performance. Nothing actually changes. Nothing. What Operation Dudula is doing, it's not going to change anything. It's just them showing their frustrations. Yes, it's a good thing because you must expose the ANC, you must expose the DA, all of these exposés must happen, okay? All of these commissions must happen. You have to look at these criminals and you have to wake up to the fact that our country is run by criminals. They are the biggest criminals in the country. Criminals, listen to me, our government is a criminal institution. Okay. The reason why nothing works is because your money is being stolen. And it's always been stolen. It was being stolen before President Ramaphosa. This is why I'm not hard on President Ramaphosa as an individual. Because remember, as I told you, we've been doing this since 2017. So I'm not hard on President Ramaphosa as an individual to say everything is his fault. Because we were fighting back in the days of President Jacob Zuma. Okay. In 2017, we were fighting. At the beginning of 2017, when President Jacob Zuma was still the president, all of this information was coming out. The police were corrupt back then. The money was being stolen back then. The whistleblowers were being assassinated back then. Okay. So they want you to rebel. They want you to make a noise. They want you to have this mini, the soft civil war, right? This soft civil war, a bunch of people making a noise. That's what they want. Because in essence, you're not changing anything. You're not changing anything that matters. You are only changing the perspective. You are only showing us that these people are corrupt. But the thing is, we knew that these people are corrupt. We've always known these people are corrupt. We know that our government is a criminal institution. It's not an actual government. It's a criminal institution. Okay. It's the thugs are stealing money all day. People go to work in South Africa. People go to work to steal money. The Department of Transport, the Department of Education, the Department of everything, ESCOM, everything. Nothing works in this country. Even now, President Abombeki just recently said it after I've been saying it for years. Now, President Abombeki came out, I think it was last week, where he said, oh, nothing works in South Africa. And then after that, he said the ANC was infiltrated. So, what we started as South Africa will succeed. We were starting a revolution. This is why we don't show our faces just yet. When we started this movement, when we started this political party, when we started our organization, we knew that the only way we are going to succeed is if we are behind the scenes. If you want to make real change, it has to be a revolution. You can't make a noise like the EFF. That's not a revolution. Julius Malema is not a revolutionary. And Julius and Floyd are not revolutionaries. The MK party are not revolutionaries. They're just a bunch of kids. It's just a bunch of kids who are following an old man. That's the MK party. Okay. A revolution, listen to me, South Africa. A revolution is extremely, extremely organized. A revolution is extremely, extremely organized. It's extremely organized. It has step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7, step 8, step 9, step 10. A revolution doesn't make a noise. A civil war makes a noise. A protest makes a noise. And then after that, if you look at all these countries where a revolution took place, right? If you look at all these countries where a revolution took place, what happens after that? When I say a revolution, I mean a civil war takes place. So a civil war takes place, and then some military general kills the president, or they chase the president away, right? That's what happens. It happened in Zimbabwe. It happens everywhere. Idi Amin in Africa. I mean, history is full of people that have overthrown governments through violence, right? But what happens after that? What happened to Zimbabwe after that? They wake up one day and they say, okay, we are overthrowing this government. Get away! Everybody must just go. Everybody, it becomes like it's a civil war, and then they take over the government by a coup. But what happens after that? Poverty happens. The people that have taken over the country never actually have a plan. They were too busy planning on killing everyone in leadership, right? That was their plan, was to kill everybody in leadership. You know, that's always the plan. Kill everybody in leadership. But after that, what are you gonna do? Okay. So that's not a revolution. That's just an uprising. That's a civil war. It's not a revolution. A revolution is when you overthrow the government and then you build a new system that works for everyone. Okay. I'll make an example of what I'm talking about. Russia. For all those of you who don't know, and this is because the mainstream media is not going to tell you what happened in Russia, how Vladimir Putin became Vladimir Putin. Okay? The mainstream media is not going to tell you that. Even when you're watching a documentary, you have to read between the lines as to what happened in Russia. You have to watch the documentary, but you must read between the lines. Basically, what happened in Russia is there was a government ran by a president. Okay. And it was a very communist government, right? Like the ANC. It had these communist laws, and it had these things that are, it was like the ANC government. The government before Vladimir Putin was the ANC government. The same goes for Adolf Hitler. The government before Adolf Hitler was a government that's similar to the ANC government. Okay. It was a government that was communist but very elitist, like the ANC government. It doesn't build an economy. What it does is the ANC government is BEE. So it's a government full of politicians who own everything. And therefore, the politicians don't build an economy for the people. Okay? It always happens like that. It happens before, if you read, do your research in history. Same thing. Before Adolf Hitler, there was poverty. Before Vladimir Putin, poverty. Okay. So you have a government where only a few people are wealthy. They own the mines, they own everything. A few people. Now, the majority of the country, the 60 million people of the country, are poor. So imagine that. Imagine a country that has 64 million people. Okay? Only 4 million out of 64. I want you to think about this. Out of 64 million people, only 4 million people have money. The 60 is screwed. Okay. So that's what happened. It always happens like that. It happens everywhere. You look at again, let's go to Adolf Hitler. Same thing. Exactly the same thing. Adolf Hitler. Same thing. Before Hitler, there was poverty. Because the previous government was a communist government that's ran by capitalists, by people who own everything. So the politicians themselves are multi-billionaires and multi-trillionaires. And then everybody else is poor because the politicians don't want to build an economy where you will have your own business and then you will end up competing with them. BEE. That's BEE. In South Africa, that's BEE. The ANC doesn't want you to have your own thing because you'll end up becoming successful and you'll end up competing with them. So it's not in their best interest to build an economy that favors the people, an economy that empowers the people, an economy that enriches the people. Because they think when you own your own, let's say you start a business, you start a franchise, right? You start a franchise, your own boutique. Let's say you start some kind of a whatever, a franchise, a business, some kind of a restaurant, and then you franchise it. Now you're competing now officially with McDonald's, who is owned by Cyril Ramaphosa through a BEE deal. So it's against Cyril Ramaphosa's interest for you to own your own restaurant in that area. Okay. It's against Gwede Montashe, who owns Petro SA, the petrol delivery service. It's against his own interest. It's against Gwede Montashe's interest for you to open your own garage, your own petrol station. Your own petrol, you can't even open your own petrol station because the ANC doesn't. Gwede Montashe is afraid that you're going to threaten his money. Okay. So throughout history, we've always had examples of what the ANC is doing in some kind of a way. Obviously, they are not black people, okay? The Russians are not black, okay? Adolf Hitler was not black as well. So you have all these examples of what's happening with the ANC, a government where the politicians have 30%, have percentages in everything, to the point where the politicians don't want to build an economy. They literally don't want to. They can't help you grow. Because even though you can see that everybody's unemployed, everybody's poor, they will still not let go of BEE. They will still not stop stealing the money. Because that's how they steal the money. They steal the money through BEE deals. That's how they launder the money. They give you a tender and they launder the money. The tender system is a money laundering system. So they're stealing our tax and they steal it through the tender system and these BEE systems, these BEE laws. Okay. But my point is this. Throughout these places in Russia now, I was talking about Russia. In Russia, they had to ask that president to step down. Okay. The man behind Vladimir Putin, I think his name was something Slokovich, right? You guys can do your own research on who the president was before Mr. Vladimir Putin in Russia. It's something like Skokovich or Lokovich, something like that. But it's a Vish or Vix. Slokovich or Lokovich or Rorovich or whatever. But you guys can do your own research on that man. That man was forced to step down. Now, my point is, even in his case, the government was resisting him stepping down. So even though people were poor, the government was they kept that man going for an extra 3 years, 3 to 5 years, right? That guy was supposed to step down 5 years ago. They kept him there, even though the people are poor and all hell was breaking loose. But they just kept him there until, it was obvious that, okay, the people are now burning down the buildings and they're burning down everything. And they're burning down the farms to produce food and they're burning down. So basically, the government itself was going broke. That's what happened. Okay. The government themselves were going broke. That's the only reason why that man decided to step down. because the government itself was going broke. It's like here in South Africa. Listen to me, guys. It's like here in South Africa. When everybody is poor, there's nobody to tax. So when the citizens become poor, the government becomes poor. There's no service delivery. They don't have enough money to pay government workers. So the government itself has to let people go. It has to retrench people. The government has to fire people. The government can't afford to keep people anymore. The government can't afford to pay itself. So eventually that's what happens. Everybody's broke. Everybody's unemployed. There's nobody to tax. They only tax the franchises, because that's what happens in every economy. It's the franchises that die last. So the boutique businesses die, the entrepreneurs businesses, the small boutiques die, and then the franchises are the last ones. So the franchises, like your KFC, like your Pick and Pay, they are always the last ones to go. So the government will basically keep taxing them and taxing them and taxing them and taxing them, and then they have to increase prices all the time. So your bread, the price of bread will go from 12 rand to 18 rand in less than 4 years. It'll go from 12 rand to 20 rand in less than, it'll keep going up and up and up and up and up until the citizens can't afford food. Okay. So even with that, the government is not gonna step it. The government, whoever is the government, whether it's the ANC or the DA, they will still fight to stay. They are not gonna just relinquish power. That will never happen. The ANC, listen to me, guys. The ANC will burn South Africa down to the ground before it leaves. The ANC is not gonna leave South Africa, even if you vote, which I'm getting there. I'm getting to the voting. We are getting there. Don't worry. We are getting there to the voting. The ANC is not gonna die without a fight. Okay. They will use every trick in the book. They are not gonna die without a fight. They're not gonna go out like gentlemen, going out silently. They're not gonna do that. They will use the SAPS to shoot you, which is what they are doing right now. Now they are using the government to fight you. So the ones who, those of us now, the Operation Dudulas of the world, are rising up because they're realizing that, okay, so the government is involved with the criminals. Now they're rising up, and now what do? They use the state, again, the legal system, the courts. They take them to court, and then after that, they arrest them, and then after that, something else happens, and then after that, and throughout that entire process, more and more people are joining in because more and more people are realizing that the government is actually criminal. All of this is criminal. You can't protect criminals if you're the police. So everyone is seeing this, and normal people are now joining on to this thing. Okay. Normal, everyday people are now joining on to this thing. So the government is going to keep fighting back, is my point. It happens everywhere. It happened before Hitler. It happened before Vladimir Putin. The government is just going to keep fighting back and fighting back and fighting back and fighting back and fighting back. Even if everybody is unemployed, even if South Africa could reach a point where 90% of everyone is unemployed, and the government has to retrench people, and people now, 90% of the country is unemployed, and everybody doesn't know what to do, the ANC and the DA will still stand there, and they will keep fighting. The ANC and the DA will keep arguing with each other. Helen Zille will keep going on every podcast, talking, representing the DA, saying, oh, the ANC is wrong. The ANC is wrong. But the DA governs better. Even though people are unemployed in the DA ran in the Western Cape right now. Black people are dirt poor in the Western Cape, and Helen Zille will still go on every podcast saying, "Oh, we run things so well. We run things so well." Colored people are getting massacred in the Western Cape, and Helen Zille will still go to every podcast saying, "Oh, we are so we are we are giving people jobs. We are giving people jobs." And just look at our numbers. The numbers don't lie. Look at the numbers. We are giving people jobs and we are helping people in the Western Cape. You know, this woman will keep, listen, all of you will die. Helen Zille will still be there saying, "Oh, we are so perfect as the DA. We are so good at running this whole thing." Meanwhile, everybody's dying outside. My point is this: even the citizens of these countries, if you look at Adolf Hitler and then look at Russia, the citizens had to be dirt poor before the government said, "Okay, maybe we don't know what we are doing." The citizens must not even have water to drink. Everything must burn down in order for the government to say, okay, so maybe we were wrong after all. After they've already killed so many people, after so many people had died, and so many people are unemployed, and so many people are poor, so many people are orphans, because that's what you happen when you kill a bunch of people. You leave orphans, you leave little kids, and so many foreigners are already here. In addition to all of this, in addition to everything that's happening in South Africa, so many foreigners are already here. So 30% of our people in South Africa are foreigners. So now, when you are fighting the government, you must fight the government. You must fight politicians like the EFF who are puppets. They're just puppets. You're fighting the government, the ANC government, and the DA government. And then you're fighting the EFF who are puppets. And then you are fighting the SAPS, who's a crooked organization. And then you're fighting foreigners while you are still trying to get what you want. Look at Operation Dudula right now. Look at us. Our organization, South Africa, will succeed. Look at everything that we have been through in this country as an organization. Everything that we have been through, fighting foreigners, from fighting the SAPS, protecting a foreigner who's sleeping with 12-year-old girls, fighting the communities that are, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. Fixing the road every week. It's exhausting, and it's making me broke, by the way. It's financially straining. But we are doing this because we love South Africa. And we know, guys, listen to me. Smart people, those of us who are not brainwashed, we know that this is going to be a long fight. But I was getting there. I was getting to the long fight and the whole thing. I was getting there, right? But my point is, we are doing this because we know that this is going to be a long fight. Saving South Africa is going to take years, and it's going to take strategy. Okay. Saving this country is going to take strategy. You are not going to fight against a government and you are just reckless. Right now, Dudula is reckless. I understand. I understand Dudula. I support Dudula. I understand all these March and March, all these grassroots, community-based organizations that are fighting for justice and fighting to be protected. They are protecting their communities, but they're reckless. And eventually, they will get banned. They will get arrested. I can already tell where Operation Dudula is going. I can already tell these guys are going to prison because that's what they wanted. The government wants the smart ones, the ones who are not brainwashed. They want us all either dead or in prison. Okay. So the issue with all of this, everything, all of this, if you, again, I'm going to go to Russia and Adolf Hitler, and I'm going to relate it to South Africa. Okay. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, guys. People protesting does not change anything. A civil war does not change anything. A march does not change anything. What actually works is a revolution. A revolution is a complete change of the system, like what happened in Russia. Okay. That government had to go, and it went away without any fight. But my point is, in Russia, what happened was the government went away 5 years too late. Do you guys understand? In Russia, that guy stepped down 5 years too late. This dude should have stepped down 5 years earlier. Okay. They were busy fighting their own people for 5 years, up until that man decided, okay, maybe it's time for me to step down. And he stepped down because he was pressured. He was pressured to step down. So my point is, they kept him there for 5 years because they liked him. The same way that the ANC, look at Patrice Motsepe, for instance. Patrice Motsepe said we must keep BEE. Patrice Motsepe went to an interview and they had some kind of a summit, and Patrice said we must keep BEE. So it's people like Patrice Motsepe who are funding the ANC, who will make it a point that the ANC doesn't just give up. Everybody knows the ANC is failing South Africa. Everybody that has a brain that works. If your brain even works halfway, you would know that we could do better without the ANC. Okay. And when I say without the ANC, I also mean without the EFF and the MK party. The ANC is the EFF and the MK party. The ANC is the DA. Okay. These are just different outfits of the same hand. There are different, how can I put this? There are different teeth of the same mouth. Yeah, there are different teeth inside the same mouth. Teeth are not the same. Teeth are in different sizes. Look at your teeth right now. You have canines, you have the long teeth, the long sharp teeth, you have the short teeth. Teeth are not the same. Okay. So you have what? How many teeth do we have? 24 teeth. I think we have 24 teeth. So we have 24 teeth in one mouth. And the goal is the same. They have the same goal. All your teeth have the same goal. All your teeth, whether it's the long teeth, if you look in the mirror, you have long teeth, you have short teeth, you have teeth that are sharper than others. All of them are the same teeth. All of them are different sizes, but the function is the same. And that's politics in South Africa. It's different sizes. They look differently. They look different. They sound different. But ultimately, the function is the same. It's for black people to be poor. Ultimately, the function is the same, whether it's the EFF or the DA or the MK party or Mosima Imane or Floyd Shipambu. The end result is the same. It doesn't matter. The DA can come along and say, oh, we govern better than the ANC. We govern. And then they've been saying that crap for a long time. That witch has been saying that for the longest time while our people die. Imagine being inside a war zone like the Western Cape, the wild, wild west, right? Imagine being inside a war zone and then talking about how peaceful it is. Oh, we are running this very well. We are running this very well. And there are people who believe her. There are people in the comments who are saying, oh, the DA, oh, the DA is in the, if you read every comment section, read every comment section. You have people saying, oh, well, the DA does govern better than the ANC. And then I'm like, what? These people actually want to destroy our country. This is what a lot of you don't understand. A lot of you, think that Helen Ziller and all these white supremacists, because they are white supremacists, racists. Everybody who supports the DA is a white supremacist and a racist. Right. But my point is, they want to destroy South Africa. Again, they want a civil war. I keep going back. They want a civil war. They want it. They want you to be so poor that you rise up so that they can shoot you down and arrest you. Now, what happened in Russia? That man stepped down, the Vlovovich, right? He stepped down, that guy, after after there was no country left, after Russia was just rubble, right? After Russia was just rubble, Vlovovich stepped down, and then Vladimir Putin was appointed, right? Now, what is the difference between a man like Vladimir Putin and a man like Robert Mugabe? The same thing happened. It happened. It's a regime change, and a quick regime change, all of a sudden quick regime change took place. But what is the difference? In Russia, it was a complete revolution, meaning the entire system of Russia had to change. Vladimir Putin had to build a new country altogether. Okay. Vladimir Putin, that man, had to build a new country altogether. And I think he became the president in 2000. Was it 2000 or 2003? I think it was 2000. I think he became the president officially in the year 2000, right? Officially, Vladimir Putin became the president of Russia in the year 2000. Okay. Vladimir Putin got Russia when Russia was not, every building in Russia was empty. The buildings were empty. People needed jobs ASAP. People needed jobs immediately. Immediately, people needed jobs. People were hungry in Russia. Think of Zimbabwe today. Or better yet, not Zimbabwe. Think of Nigeria today. Russia was like Nigeria, but obviously a white, a white European version. Okay. But Russia was a country where only a quarter of the country is actually functional, right? Everything else had failed. So it was only a quarter of the country was functional. So there was money, but the money was it was centralized only it was only a quarter of the country was actually functional. Everything else was just destroyed. So Vladimir Putin had to build an entire country from scratch. Okay. He had to build Russia from scratch, as in scratch. Because when everybody is unemployed, you have to completely restructure your economy. You must build an economy. Okay. You must build a new economy altogether if everyone is unemployed. That, my friend, requires a plan. That's not a thing that you can do. You can't sing your way out of this. You can't go to a rally. You actually have, as a president now, you actually have to come up with a plan. And that's what Vladimir Putin did. He came up with a strategy. Okay. This was in 2000. It's just now in the year 2000 when President Thabo Mbeki was becoming the president of South Africa in the year 2000. Okay. Look at where Russia is today. Look at where Russia is today. Look at where Russia is. A country that was nothing but rubble. A country that didn't have an economy in the year 2000. Look at where Russia is today. Okay. Now, look at where South Africa is today. Look at where Zimbabwe is today. Russia is one of the most powerful countries in the world. Again, don't believe the American media because the American media wants you to be stupid. Okay? Today, Russia is one of the most powerful countries in the world. Russia and China are the world superpower today. Today, if you really want to know who's really in charge of the world today, it's Russia and it's Russia and China. Today, when you wake up today, the most powerful countries in the world are Russia and China. Okay. It doesn't matter what America says. Nobody cares what the US says anymore, man. Like it's just nobody cares what the US says anymore. The US is not a global power anymore. People can just ignore the US, like China. Both China and Russia have ignored the US. They ignore Donald Trump. Donald Trump says things every day, trying to get a response from China. China has ignored that guy. China it keeps ignoring Donald Trump. And Vladimir Putin keeps ignoring Donald Trump. They'll respond to him once. For instance, this year, they had one meeting with him. Okay. They had one meeting with Vladimir Putin, and then he had one meeting with Xi Jinping from China. And Donald Trump has been making a noise. These guys can just ignore Donald Trump and just continue to become powerful countries. They literally don't need him. Literally, they don't need the US anymore. Okay. These are the effects of a real revolution. What we see in Russia, building a new system altogether. That is a revolution. Okay. Now, let's break it down some more, right? How do you build a new system altogether? Well, I can tell you right now, you don't build a new system by making a noise. You build a new system by coming up with good ideas. Number one. Number two, which is probably the most important thing, I should have started by this. This is the most important thing, okay? So let's say this is number one, okay? Number one is all of us must first unite. In a country like South Africa, us uniting would be step one of the revolution, okay? So us uniting blacks, whites, coloreds, Indians, all of us have to unite first. First, all of us have to unite. Because remember, the ANC government wants to keep us separated. The DA wants to keep us separated. The EFF wants to keep us separated. MK Party wants to keep us separated. Okay, and you can hear it when we talk. They always talk about, oh, we are restoring the dignity of black people. We are restoring the dignity of black people. These people don't actually talk about South Africa, the country. They always talk about groups, right? Now I understand black people are the poorest. So black people are the ones who are most victimized. But the thing is, victimized by who? Yes, black people are the majority, but we are poor. But who made us poor? Okay. So when we understand that we are poor because of all these politicians, we can then unite amongst ourselves. As communities, we can unite blacks, whites, like what we are doing right now. Us as South Africa will succeed. We go and fix the white communities, we fix the black communities. Okay, that's a start to show you that number one, we are not saying, hey guys, let's become best friends. What we are saying is, let's fight for our country. This is our country. Let's first fight to make this country work, and then we'll deal with your racism later. Let's put the racism aside and let's build South Africa. Okay. You can do this in your own corner of the world. You don't have to move to Johannesburg or move to the Western Cape. No, the Western Cape people can unite. The Eastern Cape can unite. KZN can unite. Gauteng, the province of Gauteng can unite and come under one thing. Let's fix our country. Let's fix our economy. Let's fight crime. Crime and the economy. Let's start there. Let's start there. Crime and the economy. Can we all unite under that? Can we all unite under that? Crime and the economy. So basically, we need ideas as to how to build a new economy, because right now you can see for yourselves, we can't still be talking about BEE and we can't still be talking about the ANC anymore. So let's build a new economy. So what are we building? So at South Africa will succeed. We want to build a factory in every city. We want to build factory parks, industrial parks in every city. Even if you only manufacture shoes, I don't care. Just manufacture something. Our people must work somewhere. Okay, even if you only process food in Umtata, for instance, in cities like Umtata, cities that are not major cities, right? So Umtata, Butterworth, I don't care if you only manufacture bullets in Umtata and Butterworth. Manufacture something. We need to get people in factories in every city, small cities, big cities, in every city. The first thing we must do is that. That is the first thing we must do. Get people in factories, get people in farms. Let's produce. That's the first step to building an economy. Okay. So these are the kind of ideas that might flow. This is the flow of ideas. And all of us need to come to agreement. All of us need to agree that these are the steps that we are going to take. Even with crime, we need to introduce new laws that say if you steal money, if you are a corrupt government official, you should get arrested. Okay. So us coming together and then us coming up with ideas on how to build a new economy, that is the first and second step of the revolution. It's step one and step two. Step one, let's come together and put all the nonsense aside, the racism, let's put it aside. Let's come together and combine resources. Step two, let's come up with an economic plan. I've already told you my ideas. Now you tell me yours. We are building an economy and we are fixing the government itself. We are coming up with new laws, basically. New legislation. Okay. And we are getting rid of laws that don't serve us anymore. Do you understand? So these are the things that we are supposed to be talking about as a society. This is how a revolution begins. These two things. These two things. Us, number one, uniting, right? Number one, uniting. All people uniting. Number two, building factories. Wherever you are, build a factory. Wherever you are, whether you're in the Western Cape, Eastern Cape, KZN, Limpopo, Northern Cape, Free State, build a factory. You can own it yourself. You can hire people. Those of you who are responsible will put them in charge. Okay. This is a real revolution. South Africa will succeed is a real revolution. Making a noise and protesting will only get you killed. Making a noise and protesting is not going to go anywhere. It doesn't change anything. The EFF and Julius the scammer are not changing anything. This is why they haven't built anything. I want you guys to think about this. The EFF has not built not one factory. They can't help anybody get a job. Musimaimane, same thing. They can't help anybody get a job. Do you think you can call Julius Malema when you're unemployed and then ask him for work? Do you think you can call the DA when you're unemployed and ask them for work? Okay. So a revolution is us creating a new country altogether. It's us creating a new South Africa altogether. A South Africa that works for everyone. Because here's the thing, guys. If somebody right now, right now, if somebody else could be in charge of South Africa, the same thing is going to keep happening in this country. Black people will be poor, the economy is not going to grow, and eventually will always come back at this point, corruption. Because you have to be corrupt in order to be a racist person. You have to be corrupt. There's no such a thing as a racist who's not corrupt, and everybody knows it. Okay, there's no such a thing as a racist who does good work. Okay, so you can't be a racist and then still be a good person, and you are not corrupt. You are just a good person. That's nonsense. You are racist. You are corrupt. Okay, the racism is corruption within itself. Okay, so if we could give our country to the DA, we would be back at this nonsense. We'll be back fighting. We'll be back with foreigners. We'll be back fighting. Man, nothing will change in this country. It'll just get worse. EFF things will get worse. MK Party things will get worse. Musima Imani things will get worse. Okay. Right now, we can unite and transform South Africa. We are at the perfect time to unite. Okay. We are at the perfect time to unite. Perfect time. Perfect time to unite. And I'm telling you right now, guys, when we started this organization in 2017, we knew that this moment would come. We started this organization knowing that the only way to save South Africa is to, number one, start a real revolution. Number two, we have to unite. All of us have to agree on an economic plan. All of us have to agree on a social plan, meaning we have to change these laws, these toxic, criminal laws of the ANC. All of us have to be on board with the idea of building a new country that works for everyone. Okay. So that's it from me today, guys. I'm gonna have to go. Guys, thank you for your donations. A lot of you are reaching out to me. A lot of you are actually reaching out to me on WhatsApp. Thank you for your donations, okay? Thank you for your donations. I think every week, 3 people reach out to me. Every week, 3 people reach out to me. Guys, thank you for your donations. Thank you for your donations, okay? Thank you for donating to our movement. This week, I think in a few days, we will be fixing the road at a white neighborhood. There's a white family that called us. So this week, I'm going to be fixing the road. It's me and my team. We are going to have a meeting with that family and they're going to show us around. Okay. They're going to show us around the entire neighborhood and show us the damage. It's a DA neighborhood. So this would be the 17th family that's calling us, the 17th white family that's calling us to a DA neighborhood, a DA ward. Okay. A DA ward with a DA counselor. Okay. So I might show you guys. I might, post the pictures or post the videos, but we'll see. So guys, continue to pray for us, continue to support us, continue to make donations, okay? My name is Siyako Sani, okay? My name is Siyako Sani. I'm the president of South Africa Will Succeed. Now, we are also just called the SA Party, okay? It's SA. Our abbreviation is SA, okay? That's how we abbreviate. It's SA. Just SA. The SA Party, okay? But our full name is South Africa Will Succeed. Because at the end of the day, South Africa will succeed. Okay. Guys, there's only one way to fix this country. We are not going to fix South Africa if we're still divided. Because when we are divided, thugs can quickly enter into our government. The reason why the ANC is able to do all of this is because South Africa is divided. Guys, our country is divided. That's how the ANC can just do all of this. It's because you are divided. Do you guys realize that there are some black people in this country who are still voting for the ANC? After everything that's happened in South Africa, there are black people who are still voting for the ANC. Okay. So we don't know whether they are voting because there's a lack of options. We just don't know what they are voting for anymore. Right? But my point is, don't make the mistake of thinking that every South African wants a country that works. Some people want to see South Africa destroyed, especially in the DA and the EFF and the MK party and the ANC. Some people actually want to see South Africa destroyed. Some people actually want our country to turn into Zimbabwe or Nigeria, where only multimillionaires will be able to afford clean water. That's what they want. They want us to get to a point where the government is so broke that they can't afford to provide services to the people. So you have to be a multimillionaire to afford clean water and food and steak and chicken and ice cream. You will have to be a multimillionaire to afford those things. That's where they want us to go. There are some South Africans who want foreigners in our country, guys. There are some South Africans who want South Africa to be full of foreigners. Okay. We, the people who want South Africa to succeed, the few people who actually want this country to work, because it should be working. That's the issue. South Africa should be working. We have everything to make this country work. Okay. We have the land, the precious minerals, the mines, the beautiful oceans. We have beautiful women. We have everything. This country should be successful. Okay. Intelligent people, intelligent doctors. We have the best engineers. I mean, this country should be winning. The best athletes. We should be winning at every point. Okay. South Africa should be one of the richest countries in the world. And that's just the truth. The truth is South Africa should be one of the richest countries in the world. Right? But my point is there are people who don't want to see that happening. And some of those people are South Africans. Some South Africans don't want to see South Africa succeed. But guys, we are not going to stop because we can't. South Africa should be in the top 5 of the richest countries in the world. The people of South Africa should be working and they should be making money. Okay? That's just how it is. We are the richest country in the world in terms of minerals. We have every mineral in South Africa. Gold, every mineral is here. Why are our people unemployed? They should be working in mines. Okay. You guys need to join the revolution. And joining the revolution requires us to unite. We will unite and we will unite under the plan of building an economy and fighting corruption within government. So reform the economy and reform the government. We need to build a new country altogether, okay? Guys, my name is Siya Kosani. I am the president of South Africa Will Succeed, or just the SA party. We've been doing this since 2017. We've been exposing the ANC behind the scenes since 2017. We are not going to stop. We are growing each and every day. We've been doing this for years. We are not going to stop. And eventually, we will overthrow this government at the right time. There will be a revolution at the right time. At the right time, and I will tell you when it's the right time, by the way. South Africa, listen to me. Guys, listen. When the time comes, I will tell you. Right now, for now, we are in the process of uniting. That's what we are doing right now. We are in the process of uniting. We are in the process of coming together. And then once we come together, we can then share strategy, share the manifesto. Okay? Everybody needs to be on board in building the new South Africa. Everyone. Everybody needs to be on board. Okay? South Africa will succeed. Once again, guys, make it a point that you reach out to me on WhatsApp. We need your donations, okay? We are not funded by anybody. We are self-funded, and we've been self-funded since 2017. Okay? We need your help. We need your donations. Those of you who are making donations, those of you who are reaching out to me on WhatsApp, I want you to know that I appreciate it, and you guys know who you are. We talk on WhatsApp. You guys know who you are. Okay? You guys know how much I appreciate it. Okay? Guys, look, eventually, all roads lead to this. All roads lead to this. It's just a matter of time until people wake up. Otherwise, when you wake up, when you finally wake up, you will realize that all roads lead to us saving South Africa. There is no other way of fixing this country. So we will not fix this country if we are separated. If we are separated, then the ANC will still win, and the EFF and the MK party and the DA. Us separating is just giving them power to make us poor. Okay. We need to unite. We need to rise up. We need to save our country. We need to build a new economy altogether. We need to make it a point that our people are successful. Okay. May God bless you guys. And may you continue to pray for us. All of you guys who are Christians, please continue to pray for us. Okay. We need your prayers. Pray for me and pray for our organization and pray for our movement. Okay. Pray for South Africa as well. South Africa, the country now. Pray for South Africa, the country as well. May God bless you guys. May God protect you. Cheers.